So it says I'm live on YouTube. So I guess you might just have to.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna check. All right, here we go. Let's discuss. All right. I'm watching an ad right now. Let me put it on mute. So there we go.
Help me make that $5 back I just spent.
All right. And I see you're cleaning your shirt off.
Yep. Okay, so we're live.
All right.
Hey guys. So I tried to do this with Stang mode, but unfortunately we could not figure out the software to get it to work. So he's here with me.
What's up?
Hey.
Actually, that works.
Yeah, literally just hold it like this.
Yeah.
So I collectively, a lot of my comments on the Mach E seem to be mostly the name. So that seems to be what's upsetting people the most in what I'm seeing. So I don't know, whatever you guys are seeing, let me know what you guys are thinking. Oh, if you guys saw this weekend, I blew through my drive shaft. I was using a CCI driveline, but I guess we can talk about that, but I'd rather see what you guys think about the Mach. I know you guys are probably sick of it. Stang mode is talking to me. You just can't see him. I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe we could do it this way.
This is very high tech, guys.
Sorry.
No, this is cool.
Let's discuss motor tube. Oh God.
The things are coming hot and heavy.
Yeah, if we discussed motor tube, we'd be here all night.
How long of a show we got?
How much time?
Yeah, listen, obviously, Joanna saw the car first and actually kind of had to keep it close to her vest. What were your impressions?
To be honest, when I first saw it, I actually thought the styling of it was awesome. Like when they opened it, because I don't know if you saw my video yet, but like the unveiling was so dramatic. Like there was a box and they opened up the door and it was just so dramatic. And I thought the styling of it was beautiful. I think it really, to me, looks like a 1517. And I enjoy that for it. As far as like my opinion on everything else, I guess we could get into that.
Well, I think what happened is like everyone's really triggered by it is because they put the running pony on it. Like I think that because they went from what was it, Mustang inspired to straight up Mustang. Did you see that? That change?
Yeah, I saw the leaks and stuff, and it sucks because, I think that seems to be, from like all the comments that I'm reading, that seems to be people's biggest gripe about it. And what's weird to me is that the car has so many names. Like it's a Ford Mustang Mach E, and then if you get the GT, it has its own trim. So it's going to literally have several names and several badges on it.
Yeah, the GT is kind of cool though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cool. It looks good too. I like that it's not the same color. As you saw a GT, didn't you?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't? That was just in LA.
No, I actually saw the car with David Patterson. So that dude, I was texting that dude in blue yesterday, and I was like, "Excuse me," I was like, we didn't see the GT," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that too." He was like, "They kept the coolest one for not us." I think if they had showed that first, I think people would be a lot more hyped about it.
I was a little jealous. I wish that they would have done that much of a presentation for the GT500 because, for most of the Mustang traditionalists, we would have appreciated that kind of a big presentation. Now, I know they had a lot more time and energy into the Mach E, now Mustang Mach E, but I just felt like, I don't know if that was part of the delay as well, because I went back to thinking that the GT500 should have been released possibly a year prior. And then you would have had a lot more room for releasing this electric SUV Mustang up against the C8, because it's almost as if the GT500, I hate to always buy the GT500 maybe because I'm buying one. It's like, I feel like it got lost in the shuffle now.
Yes.
Because
Well,
you had to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like what you're saying though, like the GT500 just unfortunately took so dang long that like we couldn't, you know, it's like lost its specialness. I'm just making it bigger. Yeah. So the GT500 unfortunately has like lost its specialness in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, and I think with one of the things was when I could sense talking to different people at Ford, like especially the people that are responsible for the Mustang and brand, they're so excited for this electric SUV. Like it was like they were not that they weren't excited for the D500, but just so you know, you read people, they were like just on cloud nine talking about how crazy this car is going to be. Now I saw it, you saw it, like it's nice. It looks like a SUV crossover. Looks like a Tesla inside. A lot of crazy screens. It's actually roomy as heck inside.
That's one thing that I don't think anybody knows either. Like it's a little bit because it keeps getting compared to an Edge. It's a little bit bigger than an Edge, I would say. Like the person that sat in the driver's seat when I sat in the back was 6'3", and he had the seat completely back, and it wasn't touching my knees, and I'm 5'10".
Now, do you think it should have been a little bit? I saw you were like posting some of the renderings already from like different Instagram influencers, like with like a drop and wheels. It looks pretty good.
Did you see Brian's? Brian put beadlocks all the way around it.
No, I haven't seen able to see anything yet.
Yeah, it got posted on 1320. He like put a little drag wing and like put a cowl, and it actually looks kind of cool.
Listen, I mean, I think they know the aftermarket's going to go after the car because he told me, I thought it was 600, but he said it's 800 foot-pounds of torque for the GT, which is like, and it's instant torque. So that's going to be crazy. But, you know, electric cars top end is slow, so that'd be a great 8th-mile car.
Yeah, right.
Just do 8-mile. Like, I want to do 8-mile races with that thing. So
would you consider getting it for your wife?
You know, I don't really know. I don't know, to be honest with you. She's actually hinted that she'd rather have, like, something like the C8. So
my girl.
So, you know, maybe it'll be like a his and hers thing where we do C8 versus Mustang kind of stuff. But I would love a black Mustang SUV, GT, and just murder that out. And it's gonna grow on people. I think that once it really gets out there, and people were killing me in my video saying that I'm a sellout because I didn't go to Ford and was like, I hate this thing. You saw it. It's just like. I would like to drive it first.
Yeah.
And really see what it's about before I really cast total judgment on it. Because remember when the 2018 Mustang came out and there was those yellow-ish like rolling shots, people were like, whoa.
And it looked so derpy.
It looked so bad. It was like probably one of the worst. Like this car was leaked like crazy. Like,
yeah.
It was so
I wonder if that was like the plan though. I don't know.
It makes sense because Jalopnik, everybody else had it like it was free. When I saw that, a lot of the people that are like Jalopnik had it out, Mustang 6G, and they all had it on their things. I was like, all right, well, I'm posting it then too. Like, you know, I didn't want to get in trouble.
I got yelled at. I posted mine 20 minutes before it was actually unveiled, so I had to take all my stuff down.
You did?
Yeah, because I'm under contract.
Oh, you had the embargo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, she's like, are you watching the live stream? And I was like, no, I'm just leaving. I'm packing up from the racetrack. I was like, my service is pretty poor. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you jumped the gun a little bit. I was like, oh, good. I'm like, great. So.
Oh, they wanted you to do it after the live stream?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, I thought there was some cringy parts on that live stream. I don't know, what did you think? Did you watch it all?
Yeah, it was too long. It was just like, I don't know if you checked out my video, but they did. I did. Oh, thank you. You know when they do those auto show things where it's like, you know, the whole entrance and blah, blah, blah. That's what this was. We sat there for 12 minutes watching that like thing like of a story, which was really cool, but not 12 minutes worth. So that's why I like tried to cut it as much as I was able to. But they're a little extra. They're trying to make more of what it is than what it is.
Well,
really.
I wonder if they're going to actually make it a brand.
That like, you know,
Mustang, just a brand.
It's so funny that you say that because that's exactly what Brian and I were talking about in the car on our way home. That like what scares me mostly, in my honest opinion, is it scares me that it's turning into Ram. So it's no longer a Dodge
Yeah.
Ram. So it may no longer be a Ford Mustang, you know?
We don't really see Ford symbols on the cars anymore.
No.
It's just the Mustang symbol, and I get it. And you know, it's just the transitions. I mean, listen, I had an EcoBoost Mustang, so I definitely still have emotional scars from all the hate I got when I had the EcoBoost. But I never thought it could get. I never thought it'd be as bad as this. Like the comments and messages, and I've read the comments, even on Ford's main page with like them promoting this car. You know, it's like hashtag not
my
not
Mustang.
my president. It's like that's not a Mustang or something like that.
Yeah, I've been seeing this. And the memes are hilarious. Like, I don't know. I don't personally have the effort, and not to be a dick, but like I don't care enough to like say, oh, it shouldn't be this, or let's petition or whatever like that. But at the PDC, when I was at the production facility, they told us that when they did like test groups on it, a lot of people don't know that Mustang is even Ford. I think they had like a wild number, like 60% of people didn't realize that Mustang was even Ford, like just the general public. And I was like, well, yeah, the Mustang symbol hasn't been, or the Ford symbol hasn't been on a Mustang since '05. So it's been 15 years, and you're kind of wondered why people are not sure what this car is related to. If you're not a fan, you don't know.
Yeah, there's the same confusion with the Shelby. Everyone's like thinks a lot of Shelby American products are like from Ford or vice versa. Like that Dragon Snake that came out, everyone hit me up like, can you believe that the GT500 has got 800 horsepower now on a drag wing? And I was trying to say, I was like, well, that's not from Ford though. That's the aftermarket company Shelby America who's gonna. And the joke when I saw that car, I was like, it still has a huge performance pack brakes and chrome wheels on it with the drag wing. So it's kind of like. Still in an identity crisis. I was like, if you put a drag pack on it with some smaller brakes, then that'd be crazy. So there is confusion with the brand. You know, what is Shelby? What is Ford?
Yep.
Now you have this Mach E electric SUV. Like, I actually think, like, and I'm saying this, and I'm not trying to be a company man or whatever, but I think that once people see the car, like, around and moving and rolling, it does have a certain aura to it. I think it's a good looking cross. Like most crossovers and SUVs are already good looking. My dad has like a Mitsubishi something, and it has like a nice stance to it. I'm like, but it's nice looking. Most because they have that like aggressive like attacking look already. So I think like for example, a lot of people in the Northeast are going to put their Mustangs away for the winter.
Right.
Well, you can have an all-wheel drive, pretty cool looking, pretty fast one that you can still do errands with because you just want to have the symbol because the Mustang symbol, and Ford knows that, it means a lot. It represents a lot for a lot of people. So people that, like, they showed that stable when they had the 350, the 500, the GT EcoBoost, and then they had the Mach E in the middle. You know, people don't want to have the whole collection. You know, this is how people are. You know,
right.
They just want more. But I think that it's going to take a while to digest the name Mustang on it. And it doesn't even say Mustang. It just has a horse, the running pony. And I'm excited to drive it and see what's up because everybody knows how fast Teslas are and the way they kill it. So at least we thought, and I thought, that we would get an electric Mustang, but it would be in a coupe form first.
Yes.
And then we see it go crazy and like be what that means to me is we are definitely probably going to get a coupe electric Mustang. That's probably going to have the same technology.
Did you still there? Did you you saw the one at SEMA, the Wabasco one?
Yeah, the stick shift one?
Yes. So you want to hear something wild? Wabasco messaged me today and asked me if I want to come to see it.
Go.
They're in Michigan though. They're like an hour away. So I'm like, can I drive it? And they're like, we'll let you know when it's back. It's on promotion right now. I'm like, that wasn't a no.
You know what? What was it? When they said it was MT82, I was a little concerned.
Yes.
I think they fortified the clutches.
Yes.
Who was it? I forgot what company.
Calimer.
Yes, they made it pretty stout because when I saw MT82, I was like, 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. I was like, it better not be those aluminum shift works. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I guess I probably would have put an MT82 in it. Or, I'm sorry, I would have put a Magnum in it, but they probably won't get beat on too bad. But being at Mod Nationals this weekend, like, you heard all the MT82 problems.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
we were...
Go ahead.
We were gonna keep the MT82 for our SN swap, and I finally said, me and Brian finally discussed, I was like, we can't keep that. I was like, we have to put a Magnum in it.
Yeah, I mean, there are guys who have really gotten some miracles out of that transmission, especially the drag strip. But those are really, honestly, not to make fun of, like, unicorns. Like, I know for every 2 or 3 people that do well with it, there's like 10 that say, I'm done with it.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, that thing keeps moving. They keep putting it in cars. So, it remains to be seen. I remember when the EcoBoost came out, everyone thought the GT500 would be a twin turbo V8 because obviously EcoBoost is turbo. Didn't get that. We kept the supercharger. So actually, Ford has done everything that no one could guess. So I mean, the future, like Mustang's gonna be here for a while, so that's good for like us because we have content.
Right.
But the problem is, that shift of, like they said it themselves, Mustang's the most popular car on social media. They have the biggest car page on Facebook, over 5-6 million, which you've been on, by the way. Congrats.
Thanks.
So they asked me, but I turned it down.
Oh, I know, you're too big. You're too big for it.
I was like, nah, let's leave it for, no, I'm just kidding.
Let's leave it for the nobody, Joe.
No, that was pretty cool, though. I think if you guys who are commenting, it's pretty cool that Joanna got to be on those things. She's also on the website too, right?
I am on the website, and you're gonna make fun of me, but some cheesy interviews coming out. So they interviewed all of us that were there that day, and basically they were like, "What do you think of this car? What do you think of Ford?" And my answer was so dang cheesy that I earned myself a second portion in the interview. So yeah, they basically were like, "What do you think of the Mustang name?" And for me, like, I was honest. I was like, for me, Mustang is family, because like it's very, my whole life. So it's cheesy, but it was like kind of true. And so they were like, "Would you drive this?" And blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, yeah, it might be kind of cool. I can say I can drive a Mustang all year,
Oh man, you killed it.
Yeah. They were really happy with it, and I was like, "Dang it!" I was like, "I cornballed it up way too much."
No, but you know what? That's good because, that's the way people connect, to the car. I'm looking at some of the comments. Did you see Ford versus Ferrari yet?
I did. We saw it when the track rained out. So Mod Nationals got rained out Friday and Saturday. So we went on Friday night and went and saw it. Did you see it?
It was more, and it's cool. I think it's just been called like the Ken Miles story.
Yeah. You know why? So I don't know if you heard this, but from a little birdie that I know at Ford, apparently they did not get any of the rights for that movie. So they didn't get permission from Ford, Shelby, Henry Ford, Ford Performance, from Ferrari. They didn't get permission from anyone. So if you're watching it and you're like, wow, some of the, there's not a lot of detail in this portion, or, there's not a lot of this. Like my dad brought up a good point. He was like, they went from having, let's build this car, open paycheck. And then all of a sudden the next turn was, here's the car. There was no renderings, no design, no anything like that, So you can tell that some of those pieces are missing, and I think that's why, because they didn't talk to these people about it.
I think that's the one thing that was disappointing about the movie, was that I was expecting I wanted there to be more of a Americana story, like, Ford rises up and beats its underdog and all that, and I think that makes perfect sense because they couldn't get the rights to show that, and I mean, they honestly portrayed it looked like they portrayed it was like corporate greed, and then the man in the middle is makes the difference. But I mean, besides that, I think they over dramatized the 7,000 RPM a little bit. It was like,
oh my God, it's so funny that you said that. Like, that's exactly what me and Brian and my dad said. So like, overall, I think it was great. I think it was a really good movie.
I'm just critiquing it.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what we're here doing tonight. We're critiquing. So I did think it was great. in case anybody didn't see it, I didn't expect the end because I didn't know the story, so that's my bad. But
I hope I'm not spoiling for anybody, but there was a little bit a moment of sadness for me in the movie. I was like,
yeah, me too.
well, that sucks.
Yeah.
So,
well, what stinks too is like oh, it like kind of makes you hate Ford a tiny bit because of that one marketing guy. Like, can't have Ken and can't do this and keep the car under 6 and blah 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 blah. So you like you like almost, because I know that that's the struggle still these days. Like, I know that Ford struggle. You know, a lot of people at Ford aren't car people, unfortunately. So like they don't understand
you're
us.
absolutely correct. And that's the only thing that is a little bit, I like when you made your dad Hellcat video, or I make stuff right, sneak an EcoBoost into a track and take my mom's car drag racing. That's stuff that we just make on our own because that's our own story, so it's kind of, we're sharing our narrative and to the world and all that good stuff. But when you are at a corporate event or a marketing event, you have to be a little bit, it's not like you're in school, but you got to follow the rules.
Yep.
Because it's an honor to be invited, because first of all, I mean, a lot of old media, Motor Trend, Road and Track, all the season, and for good reason, they deserve to be there. YouTubers, influencers getting invited, the reason that we're invited is because we have the ability to take their product to a base that we represent. And there's a little bit of resentment from all sides, because what happens is you like to be the mom and pop, persona and represent the story of the normal person, and then you still have to battle like that movie represents. You got to battle the politics of media and hierarchy and marketing and representing them properly, and making sure that you don't make mistakes. So it's a delicate line that you have to balance, and a lot of people always think that, oh, you get the, what was the term, I get the red carpet treatment or something like that. Like I made 300 videos before I got my first invite from Ford. So it's like we've been making content outside of what Ford's done for a while, because it's just our experience, because the community, you go to Mustang Week, American Muscle, Ford Nationals, all the events. You just went to Mod Nationals. I'm going to be down in Florida this week coming up. Just a shameless plug, by the way. If you're watching and you're in Florida, I'll be at Cletus and Cars this weekend at the BNP booth. So I'd love to see you guys.
TFTI. TFTI.
I'm trying to keep up with you, Miss Almost 8 Seconds. I mean, golly. Stock trans, by the way.
Stock trans, yeah. Well, that was the biggest thing. When that pass happened, I've never had something really like that break, and a lot of my friends were like, he's like, one buddy particularly, he's like, you need to practice if something goes wrong. He was like, you don't want to oil down, whatever. So the minute it popped, I just was like, and like had to get it over, and like I tried to put it in park, and it was like, it wouldn't sit in park. So my dad ran up because I wasn't too far back, and Brian ran up, and they were like, we don't think it's the trans, it's okay. And then you have to get pushed, so embarrassing, pushed all the way down the track, and I got pushed all the way back through staging. And then my dad actually, Brian and my dad got under it, and they're like, it's the drive shaft, it snapped. And they were like, well, it's not the trans, so that's good. So yeah, staying mode can see the comments. So yeah, it was an experience. There ended up being one at the track, so I got is it Brian or Brad? Brian Devil Blisses.
Devil Bliss.
He has got that fast green car, so maybe there's a little good luck in my car now.
That's an 8-second drive shaft.
8-second drive shaft, though.
Well, you know what's crazy about the 10R rating is you snapped the drive shaft, which was a one piece, which is crazy. Now I have done crazy aggressive trans brakes because I'm the NA setup, not for long, and that trans is held up like. And I mean, when I've said I've launched the hell out of it, like people are like, "How's the thing holding together?" I was like, "Well, it is like," and we really put it through its paces, and the fact that you're able to do that, because I know a lot of guys, to me, are like, you know, you gotta do clutches, and I was like, well, I still have 1320 chick. By the way, what is the name of your car, by the way? I want to call it something. I don't know the name of it.
Wiley.
Wiley Coyote, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I always say 1326 Mustang, but I'll say
it's okay.
Wiley.
I know that's just as cheesy, but
no, it's your affectionate name for it. Like I had a silly name for mine, so it's kind of like so much so I made a website about it, mambamerch.com.
Mamba like my favorite. That's perfect though.
I was surprised it wasn't taken by like something with like Kobe Bryant or something. So I was like, we looked it up and I was like, yo, get that name now. But you know, we'll see what happens. The merchandise game is like a whole nother. Like your symbol is cool as hell, and
thank you.
It's hard. The merchandise game is a whole nother world. But I don't know how I got off a tangent. I don't know where I was at. But we were talking about. I gave a bunch of plugs just now. What were we saying about Wile E. Coyote? And I totally got off track. But what I was trying to say was, yes, that's where I was. Before I jumped into I'll be in Florida, I was talking about the balance of making sure that when you get invites to these events, you tell a story, explain what the product is, but then you still give your own opinion in a way that's still transparent, but you're not over there saying, you know,
you hate it.
Expletives to everyone, like, oh, you know, this thing's a piece of crap, and I knew it, because some people think it's cool just to like be disrespectful, and I think that's the way to go. But to have integrity and be responsible with an honor, like being invited to DD 500 or being invited to the Mach E or having a press car or going, you know, they're taking a risk on you because they've invited you to this kind of event, so it's an honor, but like I said, it's a balancing act. Anyway, I started preaching there. Let me get back to the comments.
Oh yeah, I just was yeah, because everybody's asking, so I probably will not go to a carbon fiber drive shaft, and I did have a drive shaft loop, but actually my drive shaft when we came back was sitting on the exhaust, so I actually may, depending on who will make it, I might go chromoly because it's less expensive and it's really light. Thanks,
yeah, I have a
chromoly.
Yeah.
You have chromoly?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get it from?
Driveshaft shop.
They did? Okay. Yeah, might. I'll probably end up doing chromoly if mine doesn't get fixed, but I might just keep it as a spare. So at this point, we're just trying to collect spare parts. So we are getting a spare trans that has clutches in it. My dad still doesn't want me to use them. He was like, the trans is fine. He was like, you don't need it, but it also has a converter, so we probably won't even use.
What stall? 3500.
Is it 35?
Boosted.
We're not sure. It's from Chase. Streetcar Chase.
D?
Oh yeah, Circle D.
Circle D, yeah, because I think Chris Circle D. They were supposed to give me a looser stall, and he got his order mixed up. But I was like, we're not going to retake the Tran out at this point. But they were supposed to send me a looser one because I was supposed to got what Steeda got. Steeda got like a 5,000 RPM stall.
Oh my god!
And which is crazy. It's crazy. And I thought I was going to get something, but mine was too tight. I needed more power to actually make it effective.
Because, yep, I've heard that.
It's NA, so. But when we go boost, it's all gonna
work together.
By the way, are you doing second gear or first gear leaves?
First.
See, listen, you go against every
trend. 18 trend. I know. My dad so like I said, my dad knows Justin really well, so we were talking with Justin all weekend, and I met his wife. My first pass was actually against his wife, so it was kind of cool that it was like girl on girl. Her car is way faster than mine, but it was kind of cool to just be against like an icon like her.
Yeah, listen, they're such good people that I'm excited to have the name, the Mamba with them, and we definitely got to get up and do some races just for the fun of it. Of Wiley versus the Mamba. I think that would be a fun thing, and then we can go and with our powers combined, we'll go take out demonology and whoever else wants to take us out.
Hell yeah. Well, like we were talking a couple days ago, I'm already trying to look for stuff for Texas. I paid for a spot, so if you can look what class you want to do, let's do it.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is when I get there to talk to Justin, I want to see like what our goals are at first, and what are we shooting for, and then we'll start and go from there. Because I'm gonna actually talk to L&M is by me, and maybe just get a block and start building it on the side. Just be ready, you know, have it ready to go, because you know when that time comes, that we'll be ready to go. So
yeah, no feels.
You know, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, leaving in first gear, stock clutches seems to be against the 18 and up Bible of supercharged Mustangs. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been wild. I think that it had an even lower, a lower pass in it. But so first pass, because it rained out Friday and Saturday. So first pass was the 9-1, so the Gloria pass. And then the second one was the Driveshaft. And then I made it just in time to get back to my third pass. And then my third one, I just didn't bring it up high enough. I think I was just a little nervous after popping that. So, yeah, I actually am going to be on a totally new, well, it's just going to be a Whipple, but it's going to be a totally new setup for next year.
Was it like a Gen 5 or something?
So it's going to be, it's going to be the same blower, but also little bragging rights here. I'm on a 6-rib still.
Oh.
So yeah, so Whipple and I are going to be, sorry, my phone is dying. So Whipple and I are going to be working a little closer this year, and they're going to be giving me a 10-rib, and they're going to be giving me, oh, what the heck is going on, phone? 10-rib, and then, I don't know what's it.
You're good.
Oh, 10-rib, and then what else are we getting, Brian?
Cobra Jet intake.
Cobra Jet intake. You should see this intake. It's massive. It's like this big around.
And alternator relocation bracket.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a couple things. So that's why, like, I'm trying to make sure my dad can come to Texas with me, because I don't want to go untested without him this time. I've done that too many times.
Yeah, what's it called? We got to get you some events next year too, because not that Mod Nationals and you know, Yellow Bullet, those events are cool, but we got to do more YouTube race events, just because I think in the kind of pantheon of like YouTube builds, yours is one of the best. So we got to get you. I'll keep you posted. We can get to those events together.
You guys, if you don't watch Staying Mode, you should. He's the best friend. He's like just so positive.
Well, I appreciate that. Checks in the mail.
I'm paying you for your time. So 33 minutes. I owe you what? Yeah, absolutely. We're going to work it out. Like, I think as far as my big events, we signed up for Texas, and then the plan would be to do Drag Week. So Drag Week's been like a bucket list thing, and it's really cool because it's all really close to home. So if I don't get into Drag Week, that's why I did Texas. And then, yeah, we're down for whatever. Like, we don't care. Like, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, and we just got home, and we don't, we're all over the place. We don't care.
We got work in the morning.
We got work tomorrow. Didn't have any day to decompress, so we're at it.
Yeah, I have work in the morning too, and then I'm driving to Florida on Wednesday. Then I'm flying home Sunday, and then I'm gonna pick up my college Mustang that afternoon. So it's like I got so much on. I mean, it's fun though. I can't complain. Like, it's a grind. Like, like, to get content that's entertaining, that's catchy, that's fun every other day, if not every day, along with trying to be a normal human being and maintain friendships, relationships, get to like birthday parties and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely a balancing act, but at the end of the day, it's for me, like you, I don't even know how we got tight, but I think I was going to come to Detroit. You were like, yo, you want to get up? And I was like, let's do it. That's all. That's all it took.
Yep.
And you just make a connection with people because our common interest is our love and passion for cars, obviously Mustangs. So it's like a fun thing. And, you're going to have people in the community that, like, I'm not saying everyone's going to be your best friend, but you know, you'll be surprised. That so many people are so kind and over the top supportive. I have a guy who wants to take me to Disney World when I go to Florida.
Aw, that's so
Which is
cute.
cool.
Yeah,
But
that's
if I
so
do
cute.
that, my daughter's gonna come over and watch all the videos. She's gonna be like, "Did you seriously go to Disney World?"
Yeah, she's probably gonna be so jealous. Like,
maybe we'll go to Epcot.
yeah, go around the world, or just go on the Star Wars rides. My dad's like, I don't want to go to Texas. He's like, I don't know if I'll be able to because I really want to go on the rides at the Star Wars rides. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, listen, I haven't been for a while, so I kind of do want to go.
I've never been.
Come to Vancouver.
Oh, that's far.
Yo, Vancouver is they got what's it called? There's a channel I watch a lot. Is that Vancouver? I'm not sure. It's called Throttle House. They do a lot of cool comparisons in drag racing. I don't know if it's in Vancouver or not, but I feel like they have a lot less restrictions up there than we do.
Unless you come to Michigan's ghetto tracks that like don't have any safety.
Didn't we talk about that? Like the tracks could be so crazy epic in Detroit, but they choose not to.
Also, yeah, like it depends. Like for Mod Nationals, so basically they treat Mod Nationals like a rental kind of. So I'm teching, and I don't have a cage, don't have a parachute. That's been like the common theme with my channel, and I got not the rule book thrown at me, but they were like, you need to have pants and like a support tube. So we were really close to Summit. So one of our buddies' wives just went and picked up him some and me some. And it was only like $100, but I'm like, the end of the year. Okay, let's go grab it.
Yeah, it didn't help that Andy scared you too.
Well, yeah, with what happened with Andy kind of scared me. So from him, like there was misting a little bit, but they were gonna run it. Basically what he said is it hooked. He went off the line, let go, started going, and it bogged really bad. And then when it hooked, it just went off left. So that kind of scared me, terrified me a little bit since Andy's a really close friend. So it just made it even more terrifying being so close to home as far as that. And
yeah,
he's okay. He walked away. He's already starting to cut it up. So race car. We told him, we were like, we have a donor. So if you need it, let us know. Oh yeah, sorry guys. Everybody's asking where in Texas. We would be doing 2K if we when we go.
Yeah.
2K. So.
I also heard Stamo is switching his GT500 order for a Mach E.
Hey,
man,
are you?
Gets out fast.
Yeah. Can you even do that?
No, we still do the 500. You still better be getting the C8. We are still getting the C8, and there's going to be a big reveal when the C8 comes. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my gosh!" So, we'll see when that happens. Even though, let's see, you two need. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm not even going to sit up here and say it's cool. We eventually cages, parachute, safety equipment. That's what's so crazy about these Mustangs, especially 2018. Any Mustang really, but especially the S550 2018. We're talking about. They go so fast, not so easily, but like compared to what it takes for older cars. Especially, I've talked to a lot of track vets. They're like, these cars go fast with a lot less mods than you think.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell everybody because they're like, "Why'd you sell the CTSV?" and blah blah blah, and I'm like, the CTSV has had so much more done to it, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, your Mustang's so much lighter." My Mustang's 3,900 or 4,000 with me in it. That's only 200 pounds less. I have a lot less done. It's on a 6-rib. Like it's more efficient. Doesn't overheat. Also, I wanted to go to that comment that said it was a flop. The car already had 12,000 reservations on it. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Okay, what was that comment?
It says that the is a flop.
Yeah,
the Mach E is a flop. It already has 12,000 reservations in less than 24 hours. So someone wants it.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that that's not a ton in a world of 7 billion, but you know what I mean. It's not.
Well, I mean, Ford's best-selling car is not the Mustang; it's the F-150, and the Explorer sells very well too. So they know how to make small trucks, crossover. I mean, the Bronco's coming out too, so they're really putting a lot of stock into the SUV crossover market, and they're not stupid because having a chance and being humble to talk to a lot of the people who are like diehard Mustang people over there, the engineers, like, you know, we talked about Dave Parasek, who was like the father of the S550 built, you know, Mustang, which I think when we look back at the S550, it's going to be just like the Toyota Supra was, you know, or the GTR. Like, the S550 has changed the Mustang game tremendously. You know, 350. The list goes on. 10-speed, V8, all that. Like, there's like different chapters of how robust. Like, you know, I still watch the EcoBoost community. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different. I mean, there's still a V6 S550 community, even though they stopped making that. I was watching Xander's video the other day that there's a Pro Charge V6. So like, there's communities on communities on communities, and there's gonna be a whole, like, there's a Mach E forum
Already. Yep.
There's gonna be like, it's gonna sell like, because you know what happens. And the crazy thing about it is, I've gotten pictures. I did dumps on my 18, right? People are like, oh, way to destroy the environment, and I was like, well, they're kind of right. You know what I'm saying? So there's a subsection of the community or the world that wants to have a clean, zero emissions car, but still loves the brand of Mustang, and you know, that's fine. I'm all about, you know, support the environment. So that speaks to that community. Like, people say, because like you said, there's 7 billion people, right? So there's a community for everybody. So I think that this Mach E is going to have a whole nother chapter. Like we talk about, there's an EcoBoost level. Like, there's a whole world just boosted Mustang. Like, all the boosted, like, Mustangs know each other. Like, all you guys are like a fraternity, sorority. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I know that person. It's just all the boosted Mustangs know each other. Like, I know all the NA Mustangs, you know, because I've been NA for so long. So we all talk. And I had to ask you a question, by the way. What weight reduction do you have done to Wiley?
So I did the Barra brakes, which did like 100 pounds. So imagine my car would be 4,100. OEM seats we took out, and rear seat delete. And then for this race, we took out, I just took out the passenger seat and the subwoofer, but I'm going to put those back in. So without all that stuff, stock interior, stock brakes, it probably would be over 4,100 pounds with me in it.
You got a K member?
I'm not going to do one.
You're not?
No, and the reason that I'm not is because I still love street driving it a lot, and I've known Sharad, the marketing guy from UPR, forever, and we had a conversation with him, and he was like, everybody's making them. He was like, but in our opinion, UPR is never going to make one because they're just too heavy and big of cars for them to feel safe. So, like, I feel the swaying, and so I don't know when it becomes a dedicated race car at some point, then I'll probably do it. But as of right now, I don't feel like I'm gonna do it because, and then what stinks too is the cage is gonna add 80 to 90 pounds on top of, I'm gonna do a fire extinguisher. We're gonna do an ice tank. We have to do, a parachute, like all that. So the car's probably gonna be close to like 4,200 pounds with me in it.
Yeah.
Yes, on Texas.
But those are necessities, so.
Yeah. So, but the nice thing is if you think about it, like being heavier is, it almost keeps you competitive in a different way because I'm never gonna be an 8-1 car. Like, I'm never gonna be those fast street cars, those fast cars. I need to be a little bit of weight to be in the heavy street. Otherwise, it's, being at that like 899 point doesn't keep me competitive. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you look like at Mod Nationals, like there was no class really even for me because I wasn't that fast. I know that sounds weird, but like I was not fast. In comparison to what was there, I was not quick enough to really be in a competitive form.
I like being a big fish in a small pond, so that's crazy.
Right, I'd rather be that, but I was like the little intimidated, like tiny child in comparison to everybody that was there.
Yeah, there's always somebody faster. So those events you see, like I sometimes I go Yellow Bullet a lot, which is locally to me. I watch some of those cars, and we were talking about our buddy Danger Russ on Instagram who went 170 without a cage in a quarter, which is like, first of all, the car is fast, but I saw that, I was like, that's fast without that's pretty. I mean, the car is capable,
Mm-hmm.
like in regards to GT500. I'm not going to take a chance and modify it like that, but there's going to be companies that have the budgets to push.
Like Fat House Fab.
Yeah, they're going to push that car to be 1,000 wheel within like the first 2-3 months of the car being out, and it's going to be probably running eights without a sweat.
Yeah. To Fat House Fab, when they get one, because I know they will, they're 1,000 they're going to be like, ha, 1,000. Did you know they reset the GT350 record, which is their own record that they just blew past?
You want to hear a funny story about that, right? I was supposed to go over to them and review some of their GT350s, and my schedule got delayed with the GT500, and freaking that dude in blue stole those reviews from me. I was like, darn it!
Did he? Because I was gonna say David went there.
I hit him up. And I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, oh, we already got David coming. I was like, darn that 1,000,000 subscribers.
Yeah, right. You can't hate David though, because he's literally the sweetest man in the world.
Listen, there are a few people who kind of motivated me. I'm not gonna talk. I accomplish much. I'm just a small channel, but those kind of people that have consistently done it with integrity and class are people that I kind of try to model myself after, but also get influenced by, and he's one of them. And of course, the thing with YouTube is you're gonna have it's definitely like the rhythm of the heartbeat. You're gonna have flat lines, you're gonna have highs and lows. You gotta just maintain, because there's some channels who get crazy views every video. Like let's say Cletus does, but you have to just kind of stay the course, present what you think is good, tell your story, keep moving. Hopefully, it gets traction. But someone like him who, he's been in the game for a while. What he does well, I'm happy for it. No, I'm not happy. I'm not saying I'm just happy when someone does well. Because I know what it takes. Because it's a grind. But it's definitely it's just you got to be on it. You got to really, the way YouTube is. If you take a week off, people it's your channel's dead. It's okay.
Yeah, right.
So,
well,
but go ahead.
I'm sorry. Just before we get completely off topic, somebody asked how much the batteries were going to be. So I'm going to drop a little knowledge just because I worked at Tesla. And everyone is afraid that the battery is going to die. And so the thing is with how the battery is, so the battery is the whole bottom. And I'm speaking off of Tesla terms, but I'm sure the Mach E is going to be very similar. The battery will never die in all one piece. So the battery will die in units of cells. So if you start seeing that your range is dying in it would take a while. So it would probably be 3 to 5 years before you start noticing. But if you're hey, I'm usually getting 350 miles, and then all of a sudden you're only getting 320, and you're wow, this is consistently lower and lower and lower, they'll check your battery for you, and they will be able to scan it, and they'll know oh, cell pack 14B is dying. They'll be able to remove that one cell pack and fix it, and then they'll replace that one piece. So that one piece would probably cost anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on how much of the cell break is damaged.
Yeah, we were talking to them you don't gotta worry about oil changes. There's so many crazy things you forget because we're so programmed with our our gasoline engines that there's going to be pros and cons. But like you said, with Ford infrastructure and reach. Yes. It's going to become very normalized to...
Well, that was an argument that I had on my Facebook today, and someone was like, what makes somebody want an electric Ford over an electric Tesla? Because if you know, Tesla's a battery company and a digital company and an automotive company. like second or third. So to me, in my opinion, like knowing everyone's like concerns with Teslas and how they're afraid of them, I think that a Ford is going to do well, because imagine like you can take it to the dealership like and know what's wrong with it, and they're going to help you, and they're going to like be able to diagnose it with you. And like in Michigan, we don't have Tesla dealerships because it goes against the dealer association laws. So like with me, if I had a Tesla, I'd have to drive to Cleveland.
Ooh.
So, or I mean, they'll pick it up for you. Like Tesla's worked around it, but there's not, there's a Ford dealership I could literally throw a rock and hit any Ford dealership. So for me, I would rather, batteries every couple of years. Yeah, that you wouldn't spend $400 a month. Like your batteries aren't going to die for like years. Like Tesla estimated their cell packs not dying for like 10 years plus.
Yeah, I think Ford said 80,000 miles before.
Yeah.
Any kind of.
So like in my personal opinion, my only negative thought to electric is the capacity. It's just we drive a ton. Like I would always have to take my truck because I feel like I would be afraid that I don't want to make stops like on the way. Like they say I don't know what they're calling it, Ford's calling it, but like supercharging as far as Tesla. Some of those things could take like 30 to 40 minutes. So your trip, let's say you're taking it to Mustang Week. My trip to Mustang Week is normally 15, 16 hours, and then all of a sudden it turns into a 22-hour drive because you're stopping for charging throughout the whole way. That's my biggest negativity toward electric.
Xander, my only negative towards electric is no V8 sound. Well, you know what's funny? Did you hear them turn it on?
No, we didn't hear it.
They turned it on. I mean, obviously it's like, I was like, it's on. He was like, yep. I was like, oh. So, I mean, he said it has a very like, someone said it sounds like a jet because that's just the way the aerodynamics is set with the car. And you'll hear it, but there's no exhaust sound. I said, they're not going to manufacture any kind of V8 sound. But as someone who had an EcoBoost, it just depends on people who, if you're not saying if you're a real car person, but if you're a car enthusiast, each car has its own personality. So, for example, some people have 4 cylinders or V6s, and they like that sound because that's the personality of that car. So this kind of is going to remain to be seen. And I think what's going to be great too is you're going to cherish your GTs, 350s, or whatever V8 you have even more. I mean, you have a Mach 1 new edge, so I still think the 4.6 probably, in my opinion, my favorite sounding Mustang, even though it's not the crazy fastest. But what's your favorite sounding?
My 3-valve. Usually 3-valves sound like shit, but 2-valves sound awesome too. Like what's wild about a 2-valve is, and I've known this sound since I was a kid. You can hear a 2-valve with a Flowmaster on it anywhere. Like I'll be getting ice cream and like people will be driving by on Woodward and I'm like 2-valve, 3-valve, Coyote. Like you can tell, you just know the sounds of them. But like the most classic like rumble that I'll never forget is literally a 2-valve with an exhaust on it. Just the best sounding to me. It just, I don't know.
I really like the exotic modern sound with like a 350R.
Oh yeah, like, the flat plane.
Sounds super exotic, but like straight raw. Like this is American muscle Mustang. I just like. It's funny because the new edges are, I think, coming back as far as I bought another one again just because I like the way they look. I think people are doing like body swaps on them. People are like getting back in them because they've aged well. Because they kind of have a modern look because the edges are sharp, like sharper.
Yep.
So, and they're easy as heck to find parts for. So, my friend, my cameraman just got an 0304 Cobra, and he got that for $20,000. And so it's like, I mean, not talking about Lambos, but the market's like millions. But I'm saying like that's crazy. Those cars have almost appreciated. And
oh yeah, that's why I picked up my Mach, because 1, I got it dirt cheap. But 2, and, I'm sentimental to them. But 2, I knew that at some point from the rumors, some Mach 1 is coming back. So hopefully it'll hike the value up even more of my '03. I'm hoping, well, also I'm hoping that my dad's old Mach 1 will come up for sale sometime. It literally is like a block away from my parents' house, and it's so annoying.
Did you find it on Facebook Marketplace? Or I found my old Mustang.
I don't even want to look because I know my 3 valve's gonna pop up on there, and we don't have the money to buy it right now. And if it pops up, I'm buying it.
Well, I totally did an emotional purchase on the 06 Mustang V6 convertible because I didn't know it was mine at first, and I saw it, and I was like, I gotta get it. I had to get it. The kid overcharged me too. I mean, honestly, I think that car, the way it is in condition, is barely worth $2,000. But I paid $2,700 for.
You paid $2,700?
Yeah, he wanted he was like $3,000 he was firm on $3,000. I was like, dude, it's November. It's a convertible V6 Mustang. And it's stick shift, and I was trying to bargain with him online, but he's like, I want 3, or I'm gonna like turn it into like a freaking what is that? Some kind of like drift car, and kind of. I was like, well, I'm gonna come see it, and then he said he turned down people who said $2,500, so he was pretty tough. But when I drove the car, I felt mechanically fine. It just the bodies beat to hell. So. I gave a buzz to our buddies at Cervini, so I'm gonna take it over there and see what they can look at it and see what we can do with it because it needs some help. It's bad.
Yeah, that sucks.
But you overpay because there's an emotional attachment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely gonna keep that. I may, depending on what's available and around, is do a swap on it.
Coyote swap it.
Coyote swap? No, I'd be cheap and just do something like I don't know yet. We have to see. I don't want to like spill all the beans yet, but I do want to. Over the wintertime, I have no real content because
EcoBoost swap.
And Brian's saying EcoBoost swap it.
That's not a bad idea either.
Well,
that'd be crazy.
If you're low on content this year, you're always welcome to come over because our garage is gonna be popping.
No, listen, I'm gonna probably after the Mambas at VMP, I'm going back to the drawing board. I might do some crazy stuff, and I got the white Mamba and the college Mustang, so we'll see what happens with that. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Coyote swaps are cool, but I feel like they're kind of expensive.
So yeah, like to do it, because a lot of people ask us with what's going on with the SN, they're expensive to do correctly. So that's why I think a lot of people just say, oh, let's do an LS swap. We'll just put a standalone ECU, whatever. You don't have to worry about all the wiring. So the reason why we're doing a complete, that's why we got the complete donor to do it correctly. But yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but Brian's not going to just do the swap. He's doing the whole interior. And this man thinks he's going to get the proximity keys to work and like everything like that. So that's why we needed a whole car.
I will.
He says he will. He's not thinking. Yeah, if anybody can do it, it's him. But yeah, it's a swap's a lot if you want to do it correctly, like completely correctly.
Yeah.
That's why a local kid wrecked his Mustang, and he was messaging me, and he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to try to buy it back, and I'm going to do a swap. And I was like, if you don't have a full donor and you have no experience in it, it's not going to be easy for you. So that's why our SN just keeps getting pushed back. But like I said, we'll have content this winter if you need help. So we're gonna be working on that, and then hopefully next week my engine, trans, and full transmission are all coming out. Ooh. Engine, trans, and full interior. Sorry, so completely coming out.
Jeez, God bless you guys.
Well, we have to. So my dad thinks it's good practice to go through the built bottom end like every year just to make sure. So we're gonna go through and like check the sleeves and make sure everything is holding up, and then we're gonna give the shop that's doing the cage just the full roller. So that's why we're just gonna take everything out so they don't have to do it.
This is gonna be exciting content. Yeah, I can't wait to watch.
Yeah,
gonna be good.
It's like a double-edged sword. Like I want to be safe at the track, but at the same time, like I really don't want to cut my brand new car up still. So like we talked about, like you have to with safety. So, but I also want to be able to run every single event that I want to run without having any issues of like, oh, you're missing this and you're missing that. So we're just going to try to do it all at once. But if you aren't doing anything, you should try to come to PRI.
What's that?
It's like a baby SEMA for drag racing.
Really?
It's in Indy, so it's only 4 hours from us. So if you wanted to maybe come with us and drive and whatever you want to do, it's really helpful because a lot of times like they'll do sales at there. So like we're gonna go up to the people who we're talking to the cage about and be like, hey, can you guys do 15% off? And it's better than zero,
Yeah. What do cages normally go for?
This
Like a
kit,
good one.
this kit with everything with like the parachute. It's not the mount, but it's like the pull. For the parachute, I think it was like 2,200, and then I think the shop that's gonna put it in, because they're gonna have to cut the dash and cut everything. I think they quoted us like another 2. So in my mind, I'm trying to save up 6,000 for it, and then if it's less, then it's a good deal.
Oh man, you know what I just realized, by the way?
Hmm.
I wanted to give you a super chat. I don't think you ever turned on.
So you don't have to give me money.
No, listen. I just wanted to like support the channel because you just told me your cage is gonna be $2,200.
It's gonna be $5,000.
Oh.
That's not including like the ice tank. That's not. Oh, what booth will you be at? I'll be in a booth. Which one, Kevin? So yeah, it stinks. Like that it's never ending with racing. So that's why this year when it comes to like sponsorships, I'm trying to find more that will help pay for these things, like the events and stuff. And
Yeah.
Brian, the shop that's doing it's DNR. So it's a local shop, and they do like real like 3,000 horsepower race trucks, and they haven't done a lot of like 2-doors. So they were like, yeah, we'd love to practice on yours. And it's a buddy that I've known since high school, so I really trust them. And they're like, yeah, we'd like to get into like race cars and stuff. So they want to kind of practice. If they know how to weld race trucks up, they'll be okay.
See, look, Johnny J wanted to give.
Oh, Stifler's. I have to talk to Brian, so we'll be at Stifler's. How many miles on your long block? Actual driving miles, probably 3,000, maybe. Probably not even that many. But it has 900 horsepower passes on it.
And it's holding up too. Everything's holding up. I'm still in shock by the trans. I mean, I'm excited about that because
it
like
sucks.
you said,
It sucks because
you're doing that. Yeah.
I wish I wasn't the minority. I wish I was the norm.
Well, are you foot braking or
Foot
what are you
braking?
doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I might do some sort of launch control in the future, but that's because I'm pretty inconsistent with like pulling it up on the converter. But other than that, not just foot braking it. Yes.
to like what, 2,000?
1,800. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your 60?
137.
That's good. That's really good.
I would say I have about 75 to 90 race car passes, but some of them are not good. I'll look at a pass and it's like a 20-second pass, because I let out or something.
No, honestly, you're leaving great because first gear with the converter, like a 1.360 is moving, and then you're picking up. And what are you doing in the 8th?
Oh, I did 121, and it was a 121 or a 590 at 121.
That's exactly where I ran it in the Demon. I went 5.9 at 121 in Demonology's car. That's crazy. So.
Will he race me?
Hell yeah, I'll be able to race you.
Okay, let's do it. Will he go be at Texas?
Yeah. Well,
okay. Or 2K, I mean.
We're trying to plan something that he wants to plan something out in Texas. Kind of like when we went over there for just a 6 thing, and we went over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we can set that up. That's
okay.
No problem. I just need to get. It'd be doubly awesome, but the only thing that his thing is, and that's he has that Cardell and he can cut a light, so that's where his kind of like upper hand is. And plus, but you're cutting the same 60. They're both cut 1.3s. It'd be a hell of a race. So especially if you're gonna keep upgrading, and so I don't know what his plans are, but he's actually talking about going to Ford. So because he calls me like every day about it. So
Tell him to hit me up if he needs help.
Yeah, he wants to get a 500 or he likes SUV too.
Damn.
I'm telling you, man, like, hey, listen, everything that's new and radical is extreme and has a lot of people talking. It's something special, and I think. And remember, it's what I try to tell people is this is the very first like at bat, if that makes sense, for this electric SUV Mustang. So usually things improve as they go along. So things will be learned and things will be added or taken away, and there'll be maybe even crazier designs or more aggressive or not. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of different stuff that comes down the right. I think my favorite part of that electric car was that moonroof inside.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like,
it's the whole roof.
so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they thought of a
But-
lot of really cool stuff on it. Like, again, as a daily, I mean, there's guys out there racing Teslas, though. Like, did you ever see the guy? I think he's like from South or North Carolina. He gutted the Tesla and it ran like low tens. Like, it's capable.
yeah.
Sorry, this guy's making me laugh. He said, I'm making faces like it looks like somebody farted. Sorry.
Hey, listen, we're all human beings here. So,
I'm just laughing because it was probably me. Oh, sorry. Just kidding.
Shit. I saw you read that. Girl.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's see. They should leave the name Mustang. They're crazy in the Mach E. Paul Cohen, yes, a lot of. Yeah, if they just to go off what you said, if because it's a full SUV, if I had my way, I would take the drag strip and gut it. And see what
I would if I had the capability and the money, I would coyote swap it. The SN is still getting the coyote swap, yes. If I had the money to coyote swap a SUV, I would, but I don't really want to get on Ford's bad side right now.
I think that they will eventually probably offer an iteration that may have a motor in it because I think he hinted that because, like we talk about, if Mustang possibly a brand, that they have like the architecture still with the Escape and the Edge and the Explorer. We may see something, depending on the sales, because sales are going to drive everything. Mm-hmm. We could see like something like a Coyote SUV because look at the everyone buys up the Trackhawk like crazy. I give credit. There's a ton of them at the drag strip, and they sell like hotcakes. So I know Ford sees that, and they're not cheap and they're expensive, but they're fast and they run like low tens around our local drag strip here. So that could easily do, even if it's like a GT500-esque SUV too. There's a lot of different ways. But then again, this Mach E is going to go 0 to 60 in 3.3, which is just like the GT500. Of course, it'll die top end, but still. And locally, I can't wait. Like, I don't street race, but like our buddy Ron, if he gets a hold of that car, he'll gap all his cars at the street lights.
That's the first thing I said. I was like, I'm putting in a request now, putting it out there. Somebody, I know a couple dealership general managers, so I'm putting them feelers out there. Like, can I drive it when it comes in, please? Like, let me see it. And
what did they say to me? They told me, I don't know if they told you this. They said to me that if you put a deposit down now, I think it's like $500, like refundable or not. Your local dealership will let you. They'll have certain or in a close proximity where you live, mm-hmm. So you can test drive one and determine if you want to keep your deposit in or relinquish it.
Yeah,
I think that's their kind of loose plan.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hearing too, because they're trying to do like the Tesla order thing, but I think people are going to be worried that they can't drive it.
Yeah, Silver Bullets is something funny. Yeah, that I think I was kind of I thought it was neat. They had a drain plug in the frunk, in the
to make it a cooler.
That would be so cool to see that because you could definitely make a cooler out of that. That's so neat. Like I said, imagine that car at SEMA like in like 3 years or 2 years, whatever. Like SEMA's gonna go crazy in that car. Like
mm-hmm. They're all gonna be bagged and they're all gonna be on huge Vossens or huge Belgians.
Or like a crazy wide body.
Oh yeah, I love the styling of it. I think that, see, and I wish that the story behind it got said more like to the public. Like, I think that the live stream said some of it, but it just wasn't the same as being able to walk around like the production center and like seeing the passion and the love behind it. So, like, and seeing the details, like the interior options all had different, different Mustang-esque things going on. And I don't love any of the wheel options, but like the colors that they thought of and the trim packages, like they really thought a lot of it out. And I think that I appreciate them for that. Appreciate it for that.
That white one is pretty nice looking too.
Yeah, I only got to see the red. Like, I'm bummed you got to see gray and white and the blue is out there. And
I know, I was wondering why we didn't get to see the really cool, but hey, they have their own reasons. I guess they want to like incrementally release it. But yeah, we'll see. Mustang hybrid, take my money. Jump ship. I might jump ship. Yosin Fire. I don't know what that's saying. No, it's affordable too. There's a lot of different prices. The car can start with it. They have a $7,500 rebate from the government. So
yeah, that's one thing too. Tesla is out of a lot of the rebates, so I think that's why a lot of people too. As long as it has the correct incentives on it and you can get tax breaks on it, I think it'll do really, really, really well.
Yeah, if you get a GT for 50, I'm in.
Yeah, I think that'll be absolutely like feasible because, it's. I think it'll be feasible. I think they're saying it's going to be 63, but the 63 creeps onto the Explorer ST market. And I know, it's, to me, if you need the size of an Explorer, if you're right between there, then why not get the Explorer?
I think people would make the choice because it has a running pony on it. That's what Ford's banking on possibly. Because, like Lincoln, like they have the Navigator, which is like really cool, and they have some other nice models, but they're not selling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they pulled the trigger on the Mustang name. Someone sent me some funny comment. They said Ford clickbaited the whole world.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Which is like the main reason they told me they put a Mustang name on it was because it's so fast. The GT model is so fast, and it made sense for them to go that route because, like, what name would work with a car that's that fast, 0 to 60, 3.3, and the instant 800 foot-pounds of torque is like, insane. That's going to be crazy. I can't wait for the video. I traded my CA Corvette in for a Mustang electric SUV.
Oh my God, the hate you're going to get. The hate. Well, what they told us, what I thought was unique when we talked to like the lead designer, and he basically said that Ford said an electric car has to come out, and the renderings were like really ugly. They looked like really ugly edges, and they kept using the word sexy. I hate that word for like car description. I don't know. But they kept saying they wanted sexy and they wanted life behind it, and they were like, what does Ford have that can make, what is it? What do you think when you hear that word in Ford? You think Mustang. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see what happens. Let me see. I'm reading some of the comments here. I think... Let me know, too, if you guys like me and Joanna going live, because it's kind of like fun, to be honest with you, because it's basically what we talk about on text and the phone anyways.
Yeah, right. We're going to have to try to do one every once in a while, since I can't believe we talked for it's already been over an hour. Really? Mach E is not bad looking vehicle. 450 is not like that. I love Joanna's name for a car, Wiley. Actually, my brother thought of that. I was surprised. Google Maps self-driving car. That's another thing too. I heard a lot of people that were like kind of upset that the Mach E wasn't going to have self-driving. I personally, like, since again my background with Tesla, self-driving is not technically legal. So when people think that's just driving assist. It's just like an adaptive cruise control, basically. Self-driving is not going to be a thing for like years and years and years and years and years, because self-driving is legal as like a 3, and for it to be fully self-driving is level 5. And self-driving cars don't have the capability and like the brain power to know like if a little kid is running out in front of a car, like to stop, you know, they don't have that brain power yet. It's going to be a long time before those laws get passed on that. So if that's something you're looking for, then I guess go to a Tesla, but I don't trust my car to drive itself.
I'd be too paranoid. I don't think I could like relax. I mean, I'd rather text than drive. No, I'm just kidding.
As long as no one's catching you, why not? Just kidding. Just kidding.
PSA, all jokes aside. Then when someone's gonna cut this up and be like, text and drive.
Yeah, literally. Staying mode said it's fine.
Texas has been in the house for a bit. No, you know, it's I think like the next step is to let people drive the car.
Yep.
And I think that's once people drive the car, then they're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Now, I've only driven one Tesla, and it was crazy. And that was my buddy's Tesla. He had a Tesla Model 3 Performance, and his was stock. I raced him in the Mamba, and that car went 11.2. I went 10.9 because I was set up for drag racing. But like he was stock, and
they're really quick.
Like, I was surprised. Like, he had a Mustang and he went to Tesla. He already texted me. He's like, "Well, looks like Tesla's getting traded in." So, I mean,
yeah, that's really cool. I think that a lot of Tesla people are going to want it because the Model X to me is really cool. Like the technology is really cool, but it's just so flashy. It's just too flashy in my opinion. Like if you had to pick up your kids from school and every single time you're like, you know, have to have the doors open, like it's too, I need to be a little bit more low key.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's something about the way it's almost it's classy, the way it's been done. It wasn't like a flamboyant. Listen, I think they're going to go even, it's going to look like one of those cars from like those futuristic movies and like a 2020, 25 model. It's going to look like one of those crazy cars where the wheels are like in stationary position on the outside where they keep moving. It's gonna have some crazy like Tron, like it's like something out of Tron.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're not that far away. They said that the Mustang logo for the SUV was inspired by Tron, like because they said it's a little bit shorter and a little bit longer, and then it has the lines through it. I think she can play in a movie. So no, somebody asked if I had a Tesla. I never had a Tesla. I worked for Tesla. So I worked for them about 8 months, but we, again, I said earlier, we don't have Tesla dealerships in Michigan. We have like, stores. So we have like our Tesla store is in the mall.
Yeah, I know my guy, Custom Coatings, does all the crazy wraps and colors in my car. He told me that he's wrapped Teslas before, and their paint and their panel gaskets are really bad. Now that's because they're a newer company, but they have great tech. Mustang specific channels. Now you have a lot, and that's great because you have to like keep making content and telling a good story and presenting what's new and all that kind of stuff. But the same thing with if you don't think there's going to be possibly a Camaro SUV coming,
Yeah, they tried and it was the Blazer and it didn't sell well.
Yeah, so maybe there's going to be a C8 SUV.
One sec, is the video working? It like froze for a second.
I see everything on my end.
Okay.
No sound, no audio. It froze again. Let me see here.
Also, while you're looking at that, someone said something about a converter. I am going to be holding off absolutely as long as possible to do a converter. They hurt the street. I say this 1,000 times. I street drive the car a ton. Don't street race, but it actually hurts your street driving a ton. And I don't need it. I have such a good 60 foot. I don't want to ruin it. I mean, I know it'll make it a little bit better, but drivability, 60 foot. It's doing so well. I don't want to touch it.
There's guys with converters making more power cutting worse 60 foot.
Yeah, like did you see Russell's 60 foot? Russell's 60 foot is
like a 1.4, right?
Yeah, a 1.47, worse than mine.
I cut 1.5 NA, so.
Hell yeah! See. Well, we're getting on like an hour and a half, so you want to cut it and then we can kind of plan something for maybe
Yeah.
next month, or like you and I will talk about PRI, do something there.
Yeah, we can always do some stuff, and we'll get better at this, and
Figure out the right way to do it.
I want to make sure we turn on your super chats because I definitely wanted to help out with your cage.
Are they not on?
You get to turn them on in your settings because there would be a money symbol where I could chat. So we sadly missed out on $3,000. I'm just kidding.
You guys, is there $3,000 waiting for you guys to give me?
Yeah, I think the video's crazy anyways. Listen, if someone catches it or not, I want to say thank you so much to Joanna for the opportunity. And I appreciate us collaborating. And congrats to all your success. Really proud of you. All the great work you've been doing. About to be 8 soon. And, keep moving forward.
Yep, I appreciate it, guys. If you guys have any questions, again, let me know. I'm always open to replying to stuff. Again, remember, Cage is coming. I'm going to post that video probably tomorrow or Wednesday of us at the track. So thanks, guys. I can't believe you guys watched as long as you did. I really appreciate it.
All right. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Peace.